Let's tell stories. I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna tell three true stories and one false story. Let's get started. So I lived on Maui for a while. I was a waterproofer. I waterproofed stuff, roofs mostly, and I was out one night on one of the mountains. I think it was called House of the Sun, this mountain. And there was a rainstorm going through the valley between the two mountains. And there's full moon out. And the moon was so bright that shining down through the rainstorm between these two mountains, it shone through the rain and created a rainbow. A rainbow in the middle of the night. And I saw it. Second story. I was riding my bike through the Midwest, and the clouds were one solid cotton wall, one cotton ceiling. And the ceiling started to descend just all at once, like a big elevator coming down. And then there were these little wisps, and it was still, it was motionless. And there were these little strange wisps, as if you'd grabbed some cotton and kind of tugged it out a little bit and then let go. So these little fingers that came down, they weren't spinning or anything. They weren't the start of tornadoes. They were just kind of odd. And as I pulled into town, I asked what was going on. They said, "Oh, well, there's 14 tornadoes right here in the area, and they're kind of bouncing all around. I guess they hop around." And so I stayed in one of the buildings there till like 3 a.m. And I was just so exhausted that eventually I'm like, well, I'm going to go camp in a field and just do the best I can. And so with 14 tornadoes bouncing all around me, and when I went outside, there was so much lightning, and the lightning wasn't touching the ground. The lightning was strobing across the sky like a net, like a big fisherman's net across the sky. And it was so continuous and so intense that when I actually got to the field, I actually suddenly was wide awake and scared. And I got out my book and I read a book by Lightning Light. Third story was something scratching on my tent one night. Kept hearing this scratching. I come bursting out and shining my light everywhere because I was expecting raccoons, actually. No raccoons. And go back in my tent, more scratching, jump out of my tent, nothing. Go back in my tent, more scratching, jump out of my tent, nothing. Something was scratching on my tent. I couldn't figure out what. Finally, I just went to bed. A whole tent full of scratching noise, and I just sleep. And I wake up in the morning, and all over my tent are these little see-through, and by little I mean like as long as your finger, carcasses, see-through carcasses, hooked to my tent by their sharp little legs, and each one's hollow. And they're all over it. It's coating my tent, this mass of bodies. Except not live bodies, they're like exoskeletons. Ugh. A fourth story. I was going to one of the reservations here in Oregon. They sell illegal fireworks. And so as I got to where I was going to go buy them, they don't allow you to drive onto their land. Actually, I don't even know where the roads are that go to their land. You come to a parking lot, and there's people there that meet you. And what you do there is you rent a horse, and then you ride in. It's just 2 miles to the village, which has roads and cars and stuff like that, which lets you know that they actually do. You can drive there. They just don't let you. You have to rent horses. So I'm riding the horse, and it's like you don't even really need. I know how to ride a horse, but these horses go straight to where they're supposed to go, and then come straight back out. You can't really force them off the trail. So as I'm riding, I'm like on the first mile, and I look up, and here's all these Native Americans sitting on horses, virtually buck naked, wearing like loincloths and stuff like that, and carrying spears and bows and arrows. And I'm like looking at that, and I'm almost kind of like, I don't know, maybe I got there during like a festival or something like that. I think it's kind of odd. Normally, they're wearing, Levi's and cowboy shirts, with the shiny buttons. So as I'm riding along, they start riding towards me. I mean, fast, screaming. And I don't know what to do. And so like, I just figured that, maybe I should get out of their way. And so I thump the sides of the horse with my heels. And the horse takes off. And sure enough, these guys hit my trail, and like they're coming after me. I think they're coming after me. They might be going to the town. And so we're just racing down this trail, and my horse really takes off. And so all I could do is just hold on. And as we come racing around this corner, it's like this gravel wash right by the river. My horse slides down it, tumbles. I fall off it, but not really very far. And then as the horse gets up, I start walking to the horse. The horse kicks me, hits me right in the sternum, knocks me about like 10 feet. It was more of a push. He didn't really kick me. He just shoved me really hard. It felt pretty bad. It felt like getting punched. And then all these Native Americans come racing up to me, screaming and whooping. And, well, they shoot me with arrows, and I died. Yeah. Wish I would have known what that was all about. Alright, well, that's 4 stories. One's not true. So I invite you to tell Earl 4 stories. 3 true stories and 1 false story. And then we'll all see if we can pick the false one. It'll be great. Alright, everybody. Peace out.